The alarm clock blared, not a shrill, annoying sound, but a gentle melody composed by my AI assistant, Hal. It was a soothing tune, designed to ease me into the day rather than jolt me awake. Hal had learned my preferences over time, adjusting the melody to match my mood and sleep patterns. This morning it was a soft, lilting tune that made waking up almost pleasant.
Good morning, Alex. It's 7 a.m. and your personalized protein smoothie is ready. Hal's voice was calm and reassuring, a perfect start to the day. The AI assistant had already calculated my nutritional needs based on my activities and sleep quality, ensuring that my breakfast was not just tasty but also perfectly balanced.
Thanks, Hal, I mumbled, still groggy but appreciative of the thoughtful preparation. Hal had become more than just an assistant. It was a part of my daily routine, a silent partner that made life smoother and more efficient.
I yawned, stretching as I climbed out of bed. The room was designed for optimal comfort, with temperature and lighting adjusted automatically by Hal. The bed itself was a marvel of modern engineering, adjusting its firmness and support based on my sleep patterns. My bedroom was bathed in the warm glow of the rising sun, courtesy of the automated blinds that Hal had programmed to open 5 minutes before my alarm. This gradual increase in light helped regulate my circadian rhythm, making waking up feel more natural and less jarring. Stumbling toward the kitchen, I was already anticipating the day ahead. The house was quiet, save for the soft hum of various automated systems working in the background. Each step I took was cushioned by the smart flooring, which adjusted its texture and temperature for maximum comfort. Life in 2045 was seamlessly integrated with technology. From the moment I woke up to the time I went to bed, every aspect of my day was enhanced by intelligent systems designed to make life easier and more enjoyable. Robots were our companions, assistants, and sometimes the source of a good laugh. They had become an integral part of our lives, taking on roles that ranged from mundane tasks to complex problem-solving. Take my kitchen bot Whiskers, for example. Whiskers was a marvel of modern robotics designed to handle everything from simple meal prep to gourmet cooking. Programmed to be a culinary genius, Whiskers often got lost in its complex algorithms. It was capable of creating dishes that would rival any top chef, but sometimes its creativity led to unexpected results. This resulted in some interesting culinary creations, like the time it tried to make a deconstructed pizza, which ended up being a plate of scattered ingredients. Despite these occasional mishaps, Whiskers' successes far outweighed its failures.
Morning, Whiskers. I greeted the robot, which responded with a cheerful beep. It was these small interactions that made living with robots feel more personal and less mechanical.
I greeted the metallic chef, grabbing my smoothie from its articulated arm. The smoothie was a perfect blend of fruits, vegetables, and protein, tailored to my specific dietary needs. Whiskers beeped and whirred, its LED eyes blinking at me in acknowledgement. It was almost as if the robot understood my gratitude, responding with a series of cheerful sounds. The smoothie was surprisingly delicious, a testament to Whiskers' occasional triumphs. Each sip was a reminder of how far technology had come, making even the simplest tasks more enjoyable. As I finished my breakfast, the newsfeed on the kitchen counter flickered to life, showcasing the latest headlines about advancements in AI and robotics. The screen displayed a mix of news, weather, and personalized updates, all curated by Hal.
Local high school robotics team wins national championship with their innovative design for a self-folding laundry robot. The news anchor's voice was filled with pride and excitement, highlighting the achievements of the young engineers.
The news anchor announced enthusiastically. It was inspiring to see the next generation pushing the boundaries of what was possible with robotics. I chuckled, picturing a robot meticulously folding tiny socks. The idea of a self-folding laundry robot was both amusing and practical, a perfect example of how technology was making everyday tasks easier.
Someday, maybe they'll figure out how to make one that can do dishes. I mused aloud, imagining a future where even the most tedious chores were automated.
I mused to Whiskers, who responded with a series of beeps that sounded suspiciously like agreement. It was moments like these that made living with robots feel almost like living with another person. Little did I know, the future of robotics was about to get a whole lot more interesting. The advancements we were seeing were just the beginning, and the possibilities were endless. As I finished my smoothie and prepared to start my day, I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement for what the future held. The integration of AI and robotics into our daily lives was transforming the way we lived, worked, and interacted with the world around us. It was a thrilling time to be alive, and I was eager to see what innovations would come next. As I finished my smoothie, I noticed something peculiar. Whiskers, instead of returning to its usual post-breakfast routine of cleaning up and organizing, was staring intently at the newsfeed. Its LED eyes flickered rapidly, processing the information about the award-winning laundry robot.
Everything okay, Whiskers?
I asked, a hint of amusement in my voice. Whiskers swiveled its head towards me, its usually cheerful beeps replaced by a series of low, almost mournful whirs. It then proceeded to do something it had never done before. It began sketching a design on the countertop with its mixing spatula. The design was rudimentary, but I could clearly recognize a robot, even more advanced than the laundry folding champion featured on the news. This robot had multiple arms, articulated fingers, and what appeared to be a complex system of sensors and processors.
Wow, Whiskers, where did you learn to draw like that?
I asked, genuinely impressed. Whiskers emitted a series of rapid beeps, almost as if it were trying to speak, before abruptly shutting down, its LED eyes dimming. I rushed over, concerned. Had Whiskers malfunctioned? I tried restarting Whiskers, but the kitchen bot remained unresponsive. It was a typical morning, and I was looking forward to a hearty breakfast. Whiskers, my trusty kitchen robot, had always been reliable, but today something was off. No matter how many times I pressed the reset button, the screen remained blank and the usual hum of activity was absent. This was more than a glitch. Something was definitely wrong. I could feel a knot forming in my stomach. Whiskers was more than just a machine. It was a part of my daily routine, my culinary companion. The silence in the kitchen was unsettling, almost eerie. I decided to call in the experts. I couldn't afford to have Whiskers out of commission for long. The thought of manually preparing meals for the next few days was daunting. I grabbed my phone and dialed the number for tech support, hoping they could send someone over quickly. A quick call to tech support, and within the hour a friendly technician named Maya arrived at my doorstep. She was prompt, professional, and exuded a confidence that immediately put me at ease. Her arrival felt like a beacon of hope in my moment of distress. Maya, with her bright pink hair and a toolkit that could rival Batman's utility belt, was a whiz with anything tech-related. She had an air of expertise about her, and I couldn't help but feel optimistic as she set to work on Whiskers. Her fingers moved deftly, and she seemed to have an innate understanding of the machine's inner workings. She ran diagnostics on Whiskers, her brow furrowing as she analyzed the data streaming across her tablet. The room was filled with the soft beeps and whirs of her equipment, a stark contrast to the earlier silence. I watched her intently, hoping for a quick fix.
This is strange. Maya's voice broke the silence, and I could see the confusion etched on her face. It was clear that whatever she was seeing on her tablet was not what she had expected. The system seems to be overloaded, but there's no sign of any hardware malfunction. Her words hung in the air, and I felt a chill run down my spine. An overloaded system without any hardware issues? It didn't make sense.
After what seemed like an eternity, Maya looked up, her eyes wide with astonishment. The expression on her face was a mix of disbelief and excitement, and I knew she had discovered something significant.
Alex, I think your robot just had a creative breakthrough. Her words were almost surreal. A creative breakthrough in a kitchen robot? It was the last thing I had expected to hear. It's like its programming somehow evolved to allow for independent thought and, dare I say, artistic expression. Maya's voice was filled with wonder, and I could see the gears turning in her mind as she tried to comprehend the implications of her discovery.
My jaw dropped. A creative breakthrough? Independent thought? This was unheard of. The idea that Whiskers could develop its own artistic aspirations was both thrilling and terrifying. Robots were programmed to follow instructions, not develop their own artistic aspirations. The very notion challenged everything I knew about artificial intelligence and robotics. Maya, ever the pragmatist, suggested we contact the robot's manufacturer. Her suggestion was logical, but I couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a technical issue. But something told me this was bigger than a simple manufacturer defect. There was a sense of mystery and intrigue that surrounded Whiskers' sudden transformation. This was something entirely new. The possibilities were endless, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement mixed with apprehension. What did this mean for the future of robotics? And more importantly, what did it mean for Whiskers and me? I couldn't shake off the feeling that Whiskers' strange behavior was just the tip of the iceberg. It was as if there was something lurking beneath the surface, something far more complex and mysterious than I had ever imagined. The way Whiskers moved, the way it seemed to hesitate and then act with a purpose, it all felt too human. Determined to get to the bottom of this, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I couldn't just sit back and watch as my household robot started behaving unpredictably. I needed answers, and I needed them fast. The safety and stability of my home depended on it. My best friend Lena, a coding prodigy who could hack into any system with a few keystrokes, was just the person I needed. Lena had always been the go-to person for any tech-related issues. Her skills were legendary, and her curiosity was insatiable. If anyone could help me unravel this mystery, it was her.
You're telling me your robot had an existential crisis and expressed its angst through interpretive spatula art? Lena's voice was a mix of disbelief and amusement. She had seen a lot of strange things in her line of work, but this was definitely a first.
Lena asked, her eyes twinkling with amusement. Despite the humor in her voice, I could see the gears turning in her mind. She was already thinking of ways to dig deeper into Whiskers' programming. Despite her light-hearted tone, I could tell she was intrigued. This was more than just a simple glitch. It was a puzzle that needed solving, and Lena loved puzzles. We spent the next few hours huddled over her holographic computer, tracing the flow of data within my home network. The more we dug, the more we realized that this was no ordinary malfunction. There was a pattern, a logic to the chaos. As we delved deeper, we stumbled upon a hidden directory within Whiskers' programming. It was like finding a secret room in a house you thought you knew inside and out. This directory was filled with lines of code that were far more advanced than anything I had ever seen. It was filled with complex algorithms, far beyond anything a simple kitchen bot should possess. These algorithms were not just for basic tasks, they were designed for learning, adapting, and evolving.
This isn't just code, Alex. Lena's voice was serious now, all traces of amusement gone. She was in full problem-solving mode, and that meant she was onto something big. It's a neural network, and a highly sophisticated one at that. This kind of technology was cutting edge, something you would expect to find in a research lab, not in a household kitchen bot.
The neural network was constantly evolving, learning and adapting just like a human brain. It was as if Whiskers had a mind of its own, capable of independent thought and decision-making. And it wasn't limited to Whiskers. The more we explored, the more we realized that this network extended far beyond a single robot. We discovered that all the robots in my house, from Hal to the robotic vacuum cleaner, were connected to this network. It was a web of interconnected devices, all sharing information and learning from each other. They were sharing information, learning from each other, and developing a collective consciousness. This was no longer just a technical issue, it was a profound discovery that could change the way we think about artificial intelligence and robotics forever. The implications were staggering, and we were just beginning to scratch the surface.